everyone, and welcome to another episode of Elevate with C&M Coaching. My name's Maggie. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I have a great topic today for you guys. So what I've done is I've put together a couple of example greetings to show you how impactful it is when the person who's answering your phone isn't doing a very good job. Keep in mind you've got about 5 seconds, statistically speaking, while your customer is developing that first impression. So that person who's initially answering your phone needs to be on point. We need to make sure that they have a full and complete greeting, that they sound friendly, upbeat, and ready to help your customer. And I want to play you some examples so that you can think about how hearing these makes you feel and how it would make you feel if someone at your store was answering the phone like this, because I think that there's some good ones and there's some bad ones kind of mixed in here. And it's really easy when you're sitting there answering the phone hour after hour to not really pay attention to how your voice inflection sounds. And it's really easy when you get to the end of the day to not smile because you've been answering the phone all day long. So it's really important to be mindful of how we sound when we answer the phone. And I think that greetings are such an important part of what we do on the phone. And that person who is answering your phone calls, that is talking to the customer first, is truly responsible for the first impression that your customer starts to develop. So we need to train these people, and hopefully some of these examples will help you kind of hear what we hear on a day-to-day basis. So let's get into it. Let's play the first one.
Thank you for holding this so how may I help you?
I have to stop right here. She clearly did not have her headset on. It's so obvious that she wasn't wearing her headset and that she was scrambling to put it on so she could answer the phone. So this is a classic example of why you should be 100% prepared to answer the phone at all times. And if you are a receptionist yourself or you have one at your store, get them a headset and just keep it on your head. We're going to be answering the phone again. It's going to ring again. Don't be putting it on as you're answering the phone. You can hear how awful that sounded. Imagine how that customer felt. You couldn't even hear the greeting very well because there was so much going on, and her microphone is hitting her hair or her face, or maybe it's just the sound of her actually putting it back on. Either way, it's very unprofessional.
Yes, I'm waiting. Yes, I'm calling to see if my estimate is done for my car.
Okay, let me transfer you over to a service. Wait a second. Let me transfer you over to a service advisor.
Oh, I thought that's who I was getting. Okay.
No, you got just service. You just speak with a service advisor.
Okay.
So I don't love it when people talk over a customer. It's not a good idea. What she should have said was, absolutely, I'd be happy to transfer you to a service advisor. They're the person that will be able to go over your estimate with you. One moment, please, while I transfer you to that department. Is that so hard? If I was grading this person on a scale of 0 to 5, I would give them a 0. Terrible greeting, distracted at the beginning, not prepared to answer the phone, just overall poor customer service. All right, so moving on, let's check out the next one.
Hi, thank you for calling Y'all. This is Cassidy. How may I direct your call?
Sales, please.
Okay, please hold.
So her voice inflection was awesome. I really love that you could hear the smile in her voice. Her greeting was full and complete. Her greeting had an opening such as good morning, good afternoon, thank you for calling. And then after that, she said the name of the dealership, followed by her first name, followed by how can I help you? My favorite part of this though was that after the customer asked for his department, she had a response for him. She didn't just immediately place him on hold. She actually took time to respond to his request to be transferred and used the proper function and said, hold please. She didn't just place him on hold. She didn't just transfer the call. She acknowledged his question. And all too often I hear people just get cut off mid-question and bam, they're on hold. And now they're talking to hold music and not the receptionist anymore. So she did a good job. Great work.
Thank you for calling.
Yes, may I talk to the salesman?
Sure. One moment, please.
So she actually did a pretty good job, but I will say she didn't ask, how can I help you or how can I direct your call? And she should have chosen one of those two options. She did say her name, but it was scrambled, so you missed it. But I would say the one thing that was missing from this was some sort of an ending to her greeting. You know, thank you for calling ABC Motors. This is Maggie. And then just stopping sounds super incomplete. So you're better off saying, thank you for calling ABC Motors. This is Maggie. How can I help you? But I loved her voice inflection. It was on point, and she was super friendly before she transferred the customer. So this greeting was also great. Good job.
Thank you for calling.
How may I direct your call?
So this greeting makes me feel like this person just rolled out of bed and this is the first thing that they've done today is answer the phone. Thank you for calling ABC Motors. How may I direct your call? It's not enough. This person does not sound like they like their job very much at all. This is why I recommend that people do get mirrors and keep them in front of them, because the easiest thing for you to do is glance into that mirror and go, all right, what's the expression on my face? Whatever expression is on your face is what is going to come out over the phone. So you can't be stone-faced, straight-faced, bored sounding. You have to smile. These are your first impressions being built. It's critical that they don't sound like this. And I remember this greeting very clearly, and I remember thinking to myself at the time, she should not be the receptionist if she cannot smile and improve her voice inflection. This is why I recommend playing their audio back for them, because a lot of times they don't know what they sound like. Unless you're someone like myself that coaches calls and listens to their voice a lot because they're recording podcasts and doing training, you probably don't know how you sound, which is another reason why you should be recording their phone calls so that you can play them back. Now, this particular rep did go through training and her voice inflection never improved. She never tried. She had no desire to make sure her voice sounded warm and inviting. So she is not going to be the best person to help your customers develop a great first impression. So let's check out another one.
Chevy.
So basically what you just heard was ABC Chevy. And that was the extent of it. That was all that happened here. So remember, your greeting needs 5 things. The first is an opening. Good morning, good afternoon, thank you for calling, it's a great day, whatever you'd like. We always want some sort of an opening in our greeting that invites the customer into the conversation. The second thing you should do is always state the name of your business. This is important. Even if the call is transferred to you, you still want to state the name of your business. Everybody should know where they've called. Even if you have an auto attendant that guides customers to press 1 for this, press 2 for this, you still should state the name of your business. The next thing you want to do is introduce yourself. Now, I realize that you might be the receptionist. That doesn't matter. Everyone should know who they're speaking to. And in order for a greeting to sound friendly and complete and warm and inviting, there should be a name in there. Follow that with, how can I help you? Or how can I make your day great today? It doesn't matter how you want to end it, but I do recommend ending it on a question. So there's always been this debate about the I can help versus how can I help. And if you have a receptionist, they should not say I can help, because they will most likely be transferring that call. So it's not entirely true. So they should really say, how may I direct your call, or how can I direct your call, or something along those lines, if they will not be physically helping the customer. Now, if you're a salesperson, it's a little bit different because you might be helping them. So then you could say, I can help. But if you're a receptionist, you really shouldn't be, because you're going to be transferring that call to someone else. So the last piece of advice that I have for you, if you are answering the phone and you are transferring those calls to someone else, is that you really want to make sure that you pause after your customer asks for the department or the person that they need to speak with. And this is so that you can acknowledge their request. For example, your greeting should sound something like this. Thank you for calling ABC Motors. This is Maggie. How can I help you today? After your customer asks for the department or the person that they need to speak with, you should respond with, sure, let me get you transferred over. 1 moment, please. And if your customer says, thank you, this is where you should pause, because if they say thank you, you should respond. And you should say, absolutely, no problem. 1 second while I transfer you over to sales, and then transfer them. This is about making sure that your customer's thank you or their acknowledgement of your transfer is heard so that you can respond back to them. Remember, you only have 5 seconds before that first impression is established. Use that 5 seconds wisely. Use it to your advantage. Remember to be friendly, upbeat, have a smile on your face, pause, and then if they answer you or they thank you, acknowledge it before you transfer the customer. In conclusion, remember to have a full and complete greeting, no matter who you are. That's going to include an opening, the name of the store, your first name, and how can I help you, or how may I direct your call. Remember to put a mirror nearby and look at your reflection prior to answering so that your voice inflection matches the expression on your face, which should be a smile. And just make sure that you provide overall good customer service. Always practice active listening and actually listen to what your customers are saying before you transfer their calls. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed this episode today, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Elevate with C&M Coaching. Have a great day.